Today's video is going to be a collective haul. I got some items from Ollies as well as a few new to me shops, so stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm Tracy and I want to welcome you back to my channel. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. And yes, I do have a haul video today. You can see it's a decent amount, but it's not very large. I actually debated about filming this video because it's not a large haul. But then I started thinking about the reasons why I enjoy watching haul videos. And one of those reasons is I like to discover new products, new shops, things like that, see what's on sale. But also sometimes I'm looking for specific items, and these types of videos either guide me in the direction of go ahead and buying it, or sometimes steer me away from buying it. So I'm like, you know what? This might help somebody out, so let's go ahead and film it. So yeah, I do have a few things that I picked up from Ollies. Most of which is from their American Crafts buyout. I do have some items from Layle By Mail, my first time purchasing from her shop. And then I have a few items that I picked up from Amazon, one of which is a new to me journal brand. So I think we're going to start with Ollies first. So I did start taking some of these things out of the packaging because I was like, ugh, glare. So I was trying to get ahead of the game. First things first, let's talk about the one item that was not part of the like American Craft or whatever buyout. And it is this Fiskars. I've never actually seen a commercial for this. So I have absolutely no idea how to say it. But you know, it's a really good, you know, scissor and like cutting tool brand. So I went ahead and got this. This has been at my Ollies for like ever. So it's nothing new. However, at my Ollies, you're very lucky to find one that has all three pieces because it's always missing something. It's either missing the scissors or this or whatever, and it's still $3.99. So I picked it up. I don't know that I would even use the pencil sharpener. I'll admit, when I was in the store, I'm like, oh, a scissor sharpener. That'll be great. No, it's a pencil sharpener. But yeah, I was losing my scissors quite frequently over the weekend, so that's another reason why I decided to buy it. Since then, I found them all, so now I have like 6 pairs of scissors, but I don't have any this size or this cute, so you know, win-win. That was $3.99. I don't know if I mentioned that. So now we're going to talk about the actual buyout items. So this is the one thing that was not $1. It's $1.99, but it's gift wrap tape. Y'all, I was thinking about things that I actually needed this time. I really did. So yeah, it's a decent size roll for if you're anything like me. Can you see? It's a decent amount of stuff on the roll. Ollies just has decent prices on gift wrap tape, but some of them are like cheaper brands. But this one is 27.3 yards or 25 meters each, and you get 4 in there, and we all need gift wrap tape for $2. I figured that was a pretty good deal. I bought 2 packs for myself and a pack for my parents because I bought 2 packs for myself like a couple weeks ago, and then my mom was like, oh, that's not bad to have. So then when I went back, I purchased it for them. But I was getting ready to buy another set, and I'm like, come on, it's going to take me forever, especially because I don't wrap that many gifts anymore. So I'm like, 2 is fine for me. 8 rolls are going to be more than enough for a couple of years because I'm not going to use that for crafting. And then my parents, they'll be fine with 1. Craft glue. I do not own craft glue like this. I just have glue sticks and of course plenty of tape runner. So this is something that I needed rather than something that I was like, ooh, let me get it because it's $1. I truly did need this. And I was going to probably have to purchase it on Amazon. It's something that I actually had been looking for like 2 days before. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. It's just 2 ounces. I don't know how much this even goes for regularly. It's probably like $3 or $4 anyway, but they had like a whole little box of them. I only got 1 because again, I'm trying to show some restraint. I'm like, really, it's gonna take me forever to get through this because I don't really use a lot of like fabric type products, which I'm sure this might work really well on. I think it would work well like with thicker paper, like, you know, cardstocky scrapbook type paper. I'm not sure about like thin paper, which is what I generally use. That's what my glue sticks and stuff are for, but this is going to be for some other projects that I want to try, and I think it's good to have. Maybe I'll pick up another one. We'll see. Maybe I need to use it so I know whether or not I need to pick up another one. And then they finally had stamps, y'all. Like the big stamps. So So I went a few weeks ago, I filmed an in-store video, and they had a smaller stamp set. So it was probably like this tall and that wide, and it had really tiny little like phrases on it. I like thought about it just because I love stamps. Obviously, you saw at the beginning, I do have some more stamps to go over today, but it was just like, it's too small. I'm never going to use them. So I didn't. And now they got bigger stamps, and I was so excited. These were the only ones I believe they had. They actually had some of them hanging for display, and then they had the rest in a box. They were all in the same box. So I bought 2 of the alphabets. Again, these were all $1 each. I bought 2 of the alphabets just because, you know, a lot of your words sometimes have 2 of the same letters. Probably should get 3 because some words do have 3. And then I'm like, or do they have 4? Come on, Tracy. You can just reuse the same letter to make the word. But I do like to usually, if I can get them dirt cheap, I'll get at least 2. But I like the font of this. I don't have any stamps that are the font. Look, y'all. Y'all are going to be so proud of me. Maybe I'll do a video once I finish this book. I started stamping all of my stamps. I didn't do a good job stamping, but it was just to get an idea of what I have so I can go through this book and not have to like pull out my storage container. But these are all my alphabet stamps, and I have none like that. I think these are all my alphabet stamps actually. So there we go. So yeah, now I have a different font to go to my collection. I am only like, I'm not even halfway done stamping my stamps. I'm done with the alphabets, but I haven't got to any of the decorative, just in case you were curious. And then I bought these decorative, yay, but these are big and they're cute. And I just think these can be used. I think these I will probably be using more than any of them. I don't know why. I just really like those. I really like those. So cool. There we go. Kind of doodly. And then this is some just big words. I don't think I'm going to use all the words, but I might use some of them. I will use enough to get my $1 worth. Happy day, best friends, choose happy. Those are the ones I'll probably use. Beautiful day, heart. So things like that. I don't make cards, so some of these I might not use very often, but again, $1. I was super happy that we finally got stamps. Now I say we finally got stamps. Who knows how long these were like in the back? They just finally put them out. Because I think it's a room issue, like them not having enough space to put them out. So now that we're talking about stamps, we'll talk about Layle By Mail. So Layle By Mail, I have gone back and forth for like the past 2-3 months about whether or not to order. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to order. I don't know, like I will continue. Like I have a lot of stamps. So these were the stamps that I knew I wanted. And then I added this one on because I was already paying for shipping. Might as well add another one on because they didn't have like a free shipping threshold or anything like that. But this is like the stamp that I really wanted, which was currently, they have 2 of these. They have another currently prompts. I don't think it has the word currently. It just has prompts. I was going to get both because you could have got both. It was like $22. But I was like, I really only need these. The other ones probably had a couple that I might use, but definitely not on a regular basis. And again, I can create my own words with letters. So, but this one has watching, listening, reading, learning, thinking, hoping, wishing, discovering, enjoying, liking, disliking, loving, going, doing, eating, drinking, celebrating, considering, praying, planning, playing, feeling, trying. I don't know if I said drinking and eating. I said that really fast. I usually don't read things like this, but I feel like for currently, you might be curious to know what prompts were there. So I only bought this one instead of the other one because like I said, I don't know. I'm probably have to stamp this anyway, so we'll leave it out. I don't know if there was a lot on the other one I would use. Plus, there's a set that I really, really want from Everyday Explorers that's sold out. And I really like it. It's like little icons with it. So I might get that one. So this was more of like a supplemental one. I think this was $12. So they're a little expensive. Not Amazon prices, but they are comparable to what I'm seeing from other shops. So the price on here, I think is what they sell at like vendors. So I think it's like a little bit, it was like $1 cheaper on her website. And then we have the days of the week, and these are in her handwriting. And then I got the matching month. And they do have numbers 0 through 9, plus 24, 25, and 26. Obviously, 24 and 25 probably will not get used. I guess I can use 25 this year. Although I don't use the years anyway. I never stamp 2025. I don't. I was just sitting there thinking about it. I don't even use the stickers. It's interesting, whatever. So yeah, I got this. I think this was 16. I just don't have a lot of these. I have a few. Being we're talking about stamps, let's see. Yeah, so I have these. Those are tiny. That's a newer one I got from Amazon. These I don't think I'll ever use. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for days of the week. Oh no, I have something else. There we go. Those are the ones I use the most, and these are just so small, so that's why I got them. Okay, because a lot of my like journals and some of the projects I think I want to start next year, I don't know, like I would like to try to limit some of my sticker use for certain things, and that's the reason why I'm kind of stocking up on stamps. And then I got the Now Boarding Alpha stamp. I think this one might have been 16. I just really, really like the font. It's kind of like, I guess, train station type numbers where the flip numbers and stuff. And then you do have flip letters, and then you have your numbers as well. And then you do have a Now Boarding there too. I just thought it was really, really cute. And again, I'm trying to increase my fonts and things like that. Finally, Amazon. Now, I do have an affiliate link for Amazon, so I will link these down in the description box. I'm assuming they're still available, maybe not for the price I got them for, but they should be still available. I also have a storefront, an Amazon storefront. And that storefront I recently updated, and I added a couple of new things, especially after I discovered this, and I'll get to that in a moment. So definitely check that storefront. I do earn a commission, but sometimes it's not even worth mentioning because it's like 1% for certain things, and then sometimes 0% for others. So I could have like 20 sales and I'll make like $3 total. But still, it's just an easy way. So it's really not about the commission. It's just an easy way to see about some of the things that I use that you might not always see on the videos, because I did link things that I personally have tried. So there we go. This one, y'all, I am really bad about reading size dimensions. I thought this was going to be closer to this size. Look at that. This is bigger than an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Yes, it is. So like when I stamp this, I'm going to have to stamp, which I probably will. I'll probably cut here. But like, look. If I put the numbers there, that still hangs off the top. So it's a little bit taller than the 11. So actually, it was on the packaging. What did I do with the packaging? It is 8.3 by 5.8. That is the dimensions of this. They did not have, I'll bring this back out so you guys can kind of see. Woo! Apparently, I'm picking up everything that was under the notebook too. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully you can see everything. Yeah, these are pretty large. You can kind of see on the 8.5 by 11. Hopefully that helps with just figuring out how big things are. For other size reference, these are the numbers. I feel like these are decent size numbers, and they're smaller than that. This is an Instagram like photo thing, so that's like super cool. And then you have your tags. If you're new to stamping, like this kind of tag is how you can fill this tag with numbers. So this is more of the outline, and then that's like the interior color. Then look, you have like an iPod or is that supposed to be like a podcast thing? To me, I'm like, ooh, MP3 player. So yeah, and then I guess this is a place where you can write like where your location and stuff like that. And this is some really cool frames. This was like excellent. I think I paid like $5 and something for this. We'll say $6 because it was like 5 and some change for this. I mean, just the quantity of stamps on here alone, regardless of the size. If it, like, I was expecting something this size, so to have it be this size, I'm like, whoa, I would have paid like $10 for this. So from Amazon. I don't spend a lot on Amazon stamps, so from like, you know, this is probably like maybe $20 from like another shop. But yeah, I really like this. I thought this was really, really cool. So yeah, I will find it and link it down in my description box. So that way you can find it and see if you can have some other, if they still have them. I will say Globeland is the company. And I think in my storefront, I did maybe link a few others from Globeland that I haven't actually tried, but they are on my list. It's just Prime Days are like a couple weeks away, and I was like, I'm just going to wait. Okay, y'all. I got this because this was reduced, and I'm like, I can finally try this brand. This is a Tyosi. I don't know if that's how you say it. That's how it's spelled. Notebook. Okay, so I think the A5 goes for like $25, $26 on Amazon. I got this for $13. So I probably would not have gotten it for the $25, especially an A5. I'm just not going to buy an A5. But we are going to compare it to Archer and Olive. Now, the paper quality is 160 GSM. I just feel like, you know, we're all familiar with Archer and Olive, so this isn't me trying to say which one is better or whatever. I just feel like if it's a new to you brand, sometimes it's better to compare to something that people are familiar with. So again, the cover, vegan leather cover, it feels good. This probably would not have been my cover of choice. I think it's really luxurious. I think it's really pretty. If I didn't think it was pretty, I wouldn't have gotten it even for $13. But they were like prettier covers. But again, it would have cost me like $12 more. So no, we went with this. And of course, it has the gilded edges. So I do think it's pretty. It has a little heart here. It has some glue on it. So I got to get that off. And then you have the little flower here and the design on the back. So it does have a full design. I'm only bringing this here to show the page comparison. So here's what the interior looks like. You have the T, which is the Tyosi logo, and this book belongs to, for comparison. There we go. If I'm being honest with you guys, I don't love this. However, there have been times where I've been wanting to design my interior cover in an Archer and Olive. And I was like, ooh, I could take scrapbook paper over here, but because of this is so pretty, I haven't wanted to cover it. So I think I would just cover it and be completely fine with it. So I don't really think it's a big deal of how that looks. Plus, I don't really ever look at this, but I'm just saying, like, I cover it it's easy to cover. All right, the paper. So of course you have your first blank one. They do have numbered pages, and it is 192. I do think they might have a few that are a little bit bigger, like 210 or something like that. So you see they do have numbered pages. We'll just look for comparison purposes. So because of the numbered pages, you do have a bigger margin at the bottom. So I don't know if it's one less row of dots or just how the dots are on the page. You do have this spot here. Just like I said, I'm not saying whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, just kind of pointing things out. Other than that, how do I, let's do this. Hold up. I have an idea. Okay, the color of the pages look about the same. The dots may be a tad darker on the Tyosi. This looks like this might be a bluish color. That's definitely black. So that is a difference. But now you can kind of see how this has an extra row of dots, and then that one just gets rid of the extra row of dots so that way it can have a page number. Let's just make sure really quick. They look like they're the same exact size of Archer and Olive. This did, by the way, come in a just brown box. It was just thin, just open it up, but at least it was shipped in a box to protect it and not just cellophane wrap or anything like that. So it wasn't a decorative box, but it did come in a box. I got it like a week ago, so yeah, it's the same size as Archer and Olive dots. I just used their box thing. I think the dots are the same. The squares, the square that the dots make are the same size. So there we go. Everything else looks the same. The paper, like I said, the GSM is the same. Oh gosh, I don't know why I'm even trying to do this. Let's see. I don't know. It feels about the same to me. Just feel. I'm not talking about thickness. I'm talking about like smoothness, slickness type things. It feels about the same. So that to me feels about the same. And then You have your back page, again, 192, blank page here with the Tyosi branding, and then you have your pocket. I'm assuming the pockets are the same. Yeah, the pockets are the same. And then your little, it looks like this is a little smaller. I don't know. I don't use them, so I don't really, yeah, they're a little bit smaller. Again, I'm only sharing this with you for comparison purposes. Somebody out there might really like, that might be a big deal to them. So it's a little bit like sewn further inward, and it looks a little bit more narrow. So those are the only differences. Like I said, paper-wise, they're the exact same, but some of those little touches might be important to somebody else. But you see, you have your pocket, which to me looked about the same as far as how much it expands. So yeah, for $13, that's a big price difference. For $25 though, the way, or 26, I guess, maybe, I don't know. I think I would think a little bit harder, because it's like, it depends on if it was a design I really wanted compared to a design from another shop and things of that nature. But I really was curious about it. And now that I have it in my hands, I don't see too much of a difference. There's just a little things, like I said, I'll cover this with paper, and I don't love this either. I'll cover that too. I use stickers. It doesn't bother me. And there also is not a charm. So it's just the ribbons and no charm. So those are like your, you know, your little differences, just in case you were curious. But yeah, Tyosi on Amazon has a very limited stock. So you're not going to have everything that you see on their like regular website, but it is an international company. It's not based in the US. So in all honesty, with customs and things like that right now, and tariffs and things, it's probably is going to be like one of the options, the cheaper of the options, as far as if you were curious in a Tyosi notebook. With that said, I also discovered that like Moxie Life is now on Amazon. They have stuff on Amazon. Of course, we already knew Happy Planner. Aaron Condra has a little bit of stuff on Amazon. I linked some of that stuff in my storefront just so you guys can see, because again, they're just nice options, especially if you have Prime and can get it like in a couple of days. This one, I don't think it was like 2-day shipping, but I got it in a couple of days. It was actually delivered by the post office. So there we go. I think something fell. Yeah. So that's it. That is my small collective haul. Again, we have Ollies. Never fails. Ollies, I've been buying, like I've been going there every single weekend to see if they had anything to pick up. And even if they didn't have anything to pick up, what did I do with my stamps? Oh no. I somehow misplaced, or are they under here? Oh, they fell too. That's right. I'm like, where are my other stamps? So yeah, I've been going every week just to check it. I've only been going to the one closest to me, the one in Chesterfield. So I haven't gone to the other two in my area, just because I don't really need much. But I've been picking up other stuff that isn't craft related. So usually when I go there, I've been buying something. But I'll continue to check. And if they ever have like a hero item, I'll come on, I'll film it. Whether it's a short or a full video, I'll let you guys know, or I'll let you know in my community tab. But I do think things are slowing down. Mine is just busting out 1 or 2 new items like every week or so. Like I said, I don't know how long they've had them, or whether or not they just wait until certain things sell out and then put them on the table. They did have a Heidi Swap 3-pack of journals or notebooks. They were kind of like a little bit of an awkward size. They were big. So they weren't TN. I don't know how to say it. They were a little bit shorter than like a classic size when you think of like Happy Planner. They were $2.99 for 3. And I had them in my hand, and then I Googled them. And they're regular like $8.99 or $9.99. And they didn't have the best reviews. People I think it's just regular paper and not like nice paper. And so people were talking about like they didn't like how when you write on it, you can see through on the other side. So I'm like, okay, I don't need them. If that's the review, they were $2.99 and not $1, I'll leave them. If they were $1, I would have got it. Tried one. If I didn't like it, I would have gave the other 2 to like my cousin's little girl. But other than that, I was like, I'm just going to leave it. So they had that there. And then they had some of the small paper pads there for $1.99, I think. They were double-sided, but I didn't get them. They were floral. They were just like floral kinds. And then they had a 8.5 by 11 paper pack or paper pad because it was a pad, but it was just solid colors. So I didn't get that either. So it really wasn't much to do like a video on or anything like that in the store. Most of it was still the same old, but you know, I still have fun. I got things that I actually needed this time with a few things that I just wanted, but I think I kind of need these too. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this haul video. Maybe you found a brand you want to try or something you want to check out. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please press this like button. And if you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. All right, guys, I hope you all have a good rest of your day, evening, and night. Until next time, bye.